Hello my students, today we are learning about question 6, which is under the empirical formula. This is also a question which students they have a lot of confusion, and it is under empirical formula. The question says that hydrated salt, this is lesson 16, hydrated salt of copper has a formula of copper 2 sulfate dot n molecules of water. This n molecules of water, we don't know whether it is heptahydrate, has 7 molecules of water, whether it is pentahydrate, 5 molecules of water, whether it is decahydrate, 10 molecules of water, we don't know. So they are asking 25 grams of this salt. So 25 grams of the salt was heated until all the water evaporated. So that means the salt, it was 25 grams total in mass, and it was hydrated, meaning that it contains water molecules. So when heated, and the water molecules they evaporate, because at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, all the water molecules they evaporate and they go into atmosphere. So if the mass of the anhydrous salt, anhydrous means the dry salt after heating, the dry salt left is called anhydrous. If the mass of anhydrous salt is 16 grams, find the value of N. So if the total mass of the salt was 25 grams together with the water, after heating all the water is removed. So the anhydrous salt, which is the dry salt, the mass is 16. That means you can get the mass of the water here. If you have salt plus water, we call it hydrated salt, and the mass is 25 grams. Now we have only the salt alone. The water alone. After heating, we have water alone. We have only salt, not the water. We have only salt alone here. So after heating this salt, the remaining salt, which is the only, and we remove the water, the salt alone, which is the anhydrous salt, the mass is 16. So 16 grams. So how do you get the mass of the water and the salt? You can get it. How do you do it? Then you said mass of water is equal to the total mass of the salt plus the water, which is 25, minus, you subtract 16, which is the mass of the dry salt alone, anhydrous salt. Then here you get it 9, if I'm not wrong, 9 grams. So 9 grams is the mass of the water. So they are asking N, the value of N. To get the value of N, if you have the mass of the water, this is what you do. You use the empirical formula. You write the procedure, which was element. You write elements or compound. You can write element or compound. Let me write compound, because here it's not element. We have compounds here. Sometimes you can write element when you have element alone. So you write compound. You should not write element every time. There's a time that you write element when you are dealing with elements. So the compounds that we have here is copper 2 sulfate and N molecules of water. We have these two. Okay, now we write mass. My brain is slipping, I don't know. Mass, you write mass. The mass of copper 2 sulfate is how much? The dry salt. We are talking about the dry salt, not the one with water, because the water is separate. The dry salt, the mass of the dry salt is 16 grams, where the mass of the water is 9 grams. So the other thing is molar mass. So the molar mass of copper 2 sulfate, let us calculate it here. Copper 2 sulfate. Copper 2 sulfate contains copper, sulfur, and 4 oxygen. So copper in the bracket we have 64. copper is 64 plus sulfur, which is 30, S is 32, 32 plus oxygen O is 16. One oxygen is 16, and here we have 4 oxygen. Then we multiply 4 times 16. Sorry, why my pen is not. The pen is disturbing me today. I don't know what's happening. 4 times 16. 4 times 16. 4 times 16. So here 64. When you add all 64 plus 32 plus 4 times 16 is also 64. So the total will be how much? Total will be 160. So the total RFM is 160. You write it here, 160. The molar mass 160. So let us see the molar mass of water. N is the value that we are looking. It's not necessary. So the molar mass of water contains 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, and each hydrogen contains 1. So you say 2 times 1 plus, we have only 1 oxygen, and each oxygen is 16 plus 16. Then here you get 2 plus 16, which gives you 18. So water is 18. Write 18 here. Okay, after that you write the number of moles. Calculate the number of moles. Number of moles. So the number of moles can be obtained from the mass given over the molar mass. 16 divided by 160, which is the molar mass. In this case also 9, which is the mass for water, divided by 18. So when you divide these two, you get 0.1. And when you divide these two, you get 0.5. Then the next step is the mole ratio. Mole ratio. Mole ratio. Mole ratio. Mole ratio. So the mole ratio, you always divide the smallest both sides. Here we have 0.5 and here we have 0.1. You divide both sides 0.1, divide 0.1. So when you divide 0.1, we get here 1. 0.5 divided by 0.1, we get it 5. So therefore, the value of N is equal to 5. So the value of N is equal to 5. So that's how you calculate. And we call it heptahydrate, and the compound is written just like this: copper 2 sulfate not 5 molecules of water, which is not heptahydrate. This is pentahydrate. Yes, copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate, meaning that it contains 5 molecules of water. Pent means 5. Okay, that's how you do it. Please, if you see such kind of question in the future, this is what you do. You first start getting the mass of the water. This salt is hydrated. It contains water and the salt. So the mass of the salt originally they give you together with the water 25. After drying they give you 16. You subtract it, you get the mass of the water. When you get the mass of the water and already you have the mass of the dry salt, you use empirical formula to get the mole ratio. When you get the mole ratio, the value that you get the side of the water will give you the amount of molecules of water it contains, because this is the mole ratio of the water, which is the coefficient of the water that represents the position of N. So that's how you can calculate it. If you have any question, you can comment it. You can write in the comment section, and please subscribe and share. Thank you very much.